Before it was New York, the lost names and the high divers. Have you ever wondered what New York City was called before it became New York City? Well, long before the flashing lights, skyscrapers, and yellow cabs, this city had a very different name, and a very different story. Back in the early 1600s, the Dutch arrived on the coast of what is now Manhattan. They didn't call it New York, they called it New Amsterdam. This bustling little Dutch colony was founded in 1624, and it served as the capital of New Netherland. The settlers traded fur, built wooden houses, and dreamed of a city that could rival the great ports of Europe. But the story didn't start with the Dutch. Before any Europeans arrived, the island had another name, a much older one. The Native American Lenape people called this land Mannahatta, which means island of many hills. Can you imagine that? The same Manhattan that's now covered in glass towers was once full of forests, streams, and rolling hills. Then in 1664, everything changed. The British arrived with their warships, took control from the Dutch, and renamed the city in honor of the Duke of York. That's when New Amsterdam officially became New York, and the name Mannahatta slowly faded from everyday memory. But what about the high divers? That's a bit of lost New York too, a piece of history that few people talk about today. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, daring men would climb tall platforms or bridges across the city, sometimes 100 feet high, and dive into the East River below. They were known as the high divers of New York. Crowds would gather on the docks to watch these fearless athletes leap from insane heights into the cold, dangerous waters. It was part sport, part spectacle, and all about courage. Newspapers of that time would call them the men who defy death. Some performed at Coney Island shows, while others did it just to prove they could. They became local legends, symbols of the city's bold, unstoppable spirit. So yes, Old New York wasn't just a city with a different name. It was a city with a different soul. From the Native Americans' Mannahatta to the Dutch New Amsterdam, to the British New York, the island has transformed again and again, yet one thing never changed: the fearless energy of the people who call it home. And maybe, just maybe, that same daring spirit of those old high divers still lives on, in every artist, dreamer, and risk-taker who calls New York City their stage.